Hey guys, Stable here. Today we're checking out patch notes. That's right, we got an update coming next Monday. And by the way, the typical update cycle is one or two ho-hum. Okay, we get a little bit of content here and there. Every third or so update, boom, we got something big coming. And this one is that part of the cycle. Okay, we got a lot to cover here, and it's going to be this update, and then bleeding into the next update is actually probably even going to be more consequential. But strap yourself in. If you're new to the channel, slap the like button around like the red team slaps around your blue teammates. Show it who's boss, and we're going to jump right in here. Okay, so we got a new campaign, Lucky 6 campaign, 5 weeks, 2 ships to choose from. Okay, now we're going to be choosing. Okay, so we've had, I think, 3 campaigns that I can think of off the top of my head where we've had multiple ships. 2 of them were halfway through. You get a bonus tier 4, tier 5, something like that. And then at the end, tier 7. And I think it's reasonable to assume both of those were Christmas-type campaigns, okay? So I was looking at this, saying to myself, okay, we got tier 7 American Destroyer Black, which we're going to cover here in a moment, and tier 5 American carrier, something called Independence. I was thinking, okay, maybe we got a multiple ship campaign. Nope, this is going to be more like the Loyang / Friesland destroyer campaign that we saw. This was about 6 to 9 months ago. I don't know, a little bit ago. But interestingly enough, now we're pairing tier 7 American destroyer with a radar, okay, and a tier 5 American aircraft carrier. Who the hell knows what it does? We'll cover the ship when it comes out, of course. But in my mind, okay, we're going for the black, right? Pretty obvious. We'll probably we'll check out the carrier. I'm sure I'll get it on loan, and if it's worth checking out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. So stay tuned for that. But it says here when we're describing the black, good guns, good maneuverability, speed, powerful AA, the radar, like we mentioned. Oh, but by the way, the torps suck. Okay, and that's when I looked at it on the PC, that's what it looked like. We probably have something akin to the Marblehead torps that are going 40 miles an hour in the water, can't hit anything, and maybe if they do, they don't do any damage. But in terms of having a powerful smoke radar combo with good guns, maneuverability, could be a very strong destroyer. So some of the feedback I saw on, what's that thing called? Instagram. They were like, oh, what another American destroyer. And then they were asking for subs. So, I mean, I wasn't too impressed with the feedback that we saw there. But I'm personally thinking, okay, this could be a pretty strong ship. I think it was a steel ship on the PC version, which was kind of like akin to the Missouri, the V-Bucks that we're pursuing on our version of the game. Independence, it says we quite traditional aircraft carrier, blah, blah, blah. Who knows, you know, planes, right? So those are your options for the campaign. Interesting, no doubt about that. Here's a special bureau project. Now this one's actually time limited. Normally they come at you with this thing saying the campaigns are going to be deprecated, which that's a translation from some language that doesn't. I don't know what that means.
Deprecated.
Spoken or written about with disapproval. Okay, so. We deprecated the content of the dude that was parked on the moon. Okay, when he published a guide on how to play Battleship. Okay, that's a possible usage. Or it says computers marked as not recommended for users and developers because of the risk of damage or compromised security. I think that's what they're coming up with this deprecated thing that they keep using in reference to the Bureau projects. What it actually means to me and you is put some points into the Bureau projects, and then in the future when they remove those projects, you're still going to have access to them. This one is not the case, though. We have a Broad Stripes and Bright Stars project that's going to have special classy skins for Tier 7 American Heavy Cruiser Baltimore and Tier 7 Light Cruiser Cleveland. 2 outstanding ships. And they got these fancy gold laden Stars and Stripes camels. They look pretty dope. There's an American Eagle flying about them for sure. But if you're going to want to get these camels, and there's some other bonus prizes as well along the way, you're going to actually have to stop what you're doing on your other Bureau projects. If you got one Bureau project going at a time because you're not running a premium account, you're going to have to stop that, put this one on, get it done. Or if you got two, you're going to have to pause one of them and get this thing done. So, you know, trust me, the camos are dope. Go ahead and pause whatever you're doing. What are you going to try and do? Rush into Legendary tier? Have you seen Legendary tier? My God. Always pursue the lower tier Bureau projects first. The camo projects, Legendary tier projects, do them at your leisure. Pan-European fleet is here for good. As you know, right now, we're in the middle of early access for the European destroyer line. That's coming to an end. Now we're going to have access to not only the Tier 7 Oostergutland, but any other destroyer that you didn't happen to get out of an early access crate. Hopefully you took my advice, you didn't buy those, but you just got them naturally. Maybe you picked up a destroyer or two here or there. You put on some camo, you upgraded the ships, good to go. Okay, now the other ones that you haven't gotten yet, go ahead and unlock them, grind them out, and then keep going on with your lives. That's how we do early access, and that's where we're at here. Tier 7, arrival, preparations. This is what we've been talking about here. This is what we've been thinking about. As you've probably heard by now, we're going to introduce a new ship tier to Legends in the near future. And by that we mean the next update. So not this update, but next update. 5 weeks after this Monday, boom, we got Tier 8 to prepare for the debut. Then we're going to have a bunch of special daily missions with Tier 7 Tech Tree ships. They'll reward you with a solid amount of additional XP. And it says the first batch will cover 4 nations. We'll be able to deduce which ones based on the mission requirements. American, Japanese, German, and what's the other one? Let me know in the comments what your predictions are. I'm going straight up down the line. British, okay? The order that the nations were introduced in the game upon launch, that's what we're going to see. But you guys let me know if I'm off or if you disagree. They're not going to do Russians. It's too soon. Okay, so I'm going British, German, American, Japanese. We're going to see some Tier 8 ships out of those. And according to Robin on a recent stream from one of our co-community contributors, they're going to throw them in there. They're not going to trickle them in. We're going to be popping them in. So it's going to be interesting. Tech tree has been significantly overhauled. Interface, yeah, sure, that's fine. Menu systems we're talking about. Service cost from Tier 6 researchable ships. Tech tree reduced from 101 to 91. So that's about a 10% reduction on Tier 6 tech tree service cost. Cost of entering battle. Now we're changing the terminology here. This is where we don't know. Are they just getting creative with the writing style, or are these actually different meanings that are being mistranslated? We don't know. Okay, so first thing says service fee reduced from blah, blah, blah for Tier 6. Now we got cost of entering battle. That could be slightly different than service cost because that, I believe, technically incorporates a nominal fee for shots fired and stuff like that. Paint damage, which is why if you get shot at Legendary tier games, you lose money. Don't ever get shot at Legendary tier. So maybe there's a slight difference between what they consider service fee and cost of entering battle. Regardless, cost of entering battle reduced from 136 to 122 for Tier 7 tech tree ships, and reduced from 136 to 95 for premium ships. Once again, it has a problem with the information. It doesn't say what type of premium ships. I'm assuming that's tech tree ships. And then credit bonus for Tier 7 premium ships increased from 15 to 55. And the synopsis of this, they got a little bit of a follow paragraph. It says, we're now changing the paradigm from Tier 6 being the moneymaker to Tier 6 and 7. So if we clean up the language that was presented on the above 4 statements, I would apply all those basically to Tier 7, and it makes more sense. They're trying to make a couple of tiers kind of the golden zones for grinding credits. So no longer can you complain about Tier 7 costing you all the money in the world. If you play a decent game, you're going to break even or even make money. It says Legendary tier, and I'm sure Tier 8 will be onerous as well. These are the quote-unquote advanced tiers where all the pro players hang out. And if you perform poorly there, the game is designed to go to bankrupt you. This is not a mistake. Okay, if you are constantly losing 500,000 credits per game at Legendary tier, go back to Tier 3 and learn the basics. New ships of the update. American Tier 3 Premium Battleship South Carolina. All right. 8 12-inch guns, 305, slow and steady. Sure, it's an American, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll check that out. Tier 3 American, South Carolina. Tier 4 Pan-European Premium Battleship Viribus Unitus. And we got this guy named Janko Vukovic. He's going to actually be a European battleship commander. So that we'll stay tuned for that. We'll cover all that on the channel. Balance changes. Premium Destroyer Kid. Tier 6, one of my favorite ships. Kid lacks a little mojo, but her performance is fine, or just fine at the same time. So we're boosting the AA. Okay, when they launched the ship long before carriers came out, one of the selling points was the AA is killer. Okay. So finally that's coming about. I don't have a problem with Kid. In fact, I might be one of the 10 guys that are skewing the description where it says it lacks a little mojo, but the performance is just fine. Kind of like my boy Meta ruined the Kleber for all of you guys. Kid might be in my wheelhouse for that, and it's definitely in the wheelhouse of other great players as well, for sure. But boosting the AA, sure, we'll take it. Japan, Nagato. What the hell's going on here? Tier 6 battleship. One of the most buff ships because it's one of the worst ships in the game. It's going to boost the reload. It's going to boost the damage. It's no change to the armor. But it's got the super long range. It's got the weak ass armor. And now we're getting more damage and reload. So, Nagato, probably the 3rd or 4th buff. Not bad. Azuma. You guys have been looking forward to this. Every single thing about it was boosted in terms of the guns, at least. Grouping, reload, dispersion, traverse, damage, AP damage, HE damage, penetration, AP, ricochet angles improved. Everything about it, we'll check it out. It's got about 5 admirers currently. We'll see how that changes. Italy, here we go. This is what we're talking about. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a tease. It says Premium Battleship Tier 7 Roma. It's getting a little bit of a buff. Okay. Something called Conte de Cavour. What is this? Oh, the Cavour. Okay, so it's boosting some of the battleships' reloads here. But now, SAP shells for Italian cruisers. And this is a test flashing in red on my screen. Those of you guys that weren't around for the Amato, stay tuned. Listen well, because this is important. An optional artillery module has been added for the following Italian cruisers. Tier 4 Genova, Tier 5 Duca d'Aosta, Tier 6 Abruzzi, Tier 6 Gorizia. Replaces HE shells with SAP shells. Well, for Abruzzi, it also increases main battery reload from 7.5 to 10. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a nerf on that. Upgrade is free. It says we want to rally you all to test these ships. If you got them, play them, test the SAP. And truth be told, we expect the first iteration to overperform. Okay, so last time they put a test in this game, it was before Legendary Tier came out, and they put Yamato in there. And I'm not going to recount the tale in full right now, but the players were whining about boring tests, and it absolutely ruined Tier 7 for a full month. Okay? Now, if you don't know what's going on, ask in the comments. People will recount the tale to you. But this one looks a little bit more benign, okay? They're just going to put these overpowered shells in the game. You're going to get your shit kicked out of you by these Italian cruisers, and then they're going to tune down the shells based on how badly you get your asses kicked. Okay, so strap yourselves in. Stay off of Reddit for 5 weeks. We're going to get a little bit of a refinement. In fact, they might even pull the SAP out for a full update. We'll see how that goes, but we're going to get them in there. They're going to wreck, and then we'll figure out how they're actually going to work. They're going to put them on every Italian ship in the game at some point. So that's pretty big. Okay, we got Tier 8 coming. You got an opportunity to prepare for it by these missions that are going to be racking up XP. So if you ever needed an incentive to grind, and I got some Tier 7 ships that I need to put some XP on for sure. So I'm going to be doing these missions alongside you guys. We don't know. Hopefully they'll tell us how much XP we're going to need. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, anything that's a little bit less used, and again, you can speculate, okay, American, Japanese, British, and German would be my best guess. I don't know that. I'm just spitballing. But you know, put some XP on there, make sure they're ready to go, because we're going to have a big drop of ships. All right, and there's some other mobile fixes and bugs, whatever. You guys know the drill here. So the name of the game with these update videos is I like to get you guys feedback. I want to see what you guys are thinking. I think this one I'll be pretty excited to read the comments about. So you guys let me know what you're looking forward to, what you want to see enhanced coverage of, what you want to see me focus on. Of course, we'll be paying close attention to what you guys have to say here, and that'll affect the coverage going forward throughout the next update cycle. So you guys let me know what you think, and stay tuned. Of course, if you're new to the channel, you're going to want to subscribe. If you like this video or any of my other videos, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Helps YouTube promote the videos and the channel in general, so I appreciate that. And other than that, that's going to do it. All right, you guys take it easy. Peace.